This is my screencast for my web animation project for semester 2, and the project itself was to make an animation using only CSS. The idea I came up with was a loading animation, like a loading bar, which was made of separate blocks moving up and down in a timed sequence, and they're changing color as they do it. I did the CSS box by box, as you can see, box 1 over here, and I copied it and just altered it very slightly in the other boxes to make the movements different. And each one is largely the same coding wise, but the starting position and the animation positions have to be changed, because if you look up here, the position is counted as relative, which means it can move around freely on the screen, but as a result of that, box 2 is relative to box 1, and box 3 is relative to both boxes 2 and 1 in sequence. So box 1 will start off in the top left corner, whereas box 2 will start off 100 pixels away from that, and box 3 will start off like that, like a staircase. And like you see here, I have set to 0 pixels on box 1 because it starts up in the corner, but from box 2 onwards I have to add minus 100 to the top and 100 to the left each time, just to get it to line up completely perfectly straight in a line up at the top of the screen. The animation itself runs for 5 seconds. The animation iteration count value is set to infinite, which basically means the animation itself will run just infinitely upon itself. It'll go 5 seconds, run it, and then as soon as it's done, run it again up until you close the window. And you can set it to, say, a standard value like 5, and it'll run 5 times. You can set it to 10, it'll run 10 times. But I found infinite was a better way to test the animation, see if there was any bugs or glitches inside it. The animation delay is set to 3 seconds because I wanted to see when I was testing, I wanted to see where the boxes were statically as well as when they were animated. Because if you have a box at the bottom of the screen when it's static, and as soon as it starts animating, it just zips to the top, it doesn't really line up and look very nice. And the animation itself, here's the bit of code that runs that. It's fairly simple. The percentages are how far it gets along in the program, and I have them in 25% intervals so I can more precisely control what's happening, as in where it's moving to. At 25% it's up by 200 pixels, at 50% it's back down to its starting location, and the background, obviously the background of the little box moving changes color as it goes along, goes in a loop of red, green, blue, and green and red back to its own natural state. And box 2, pretty much the same as box 1. The top and left are changed, and it has to be changed in the animation itself as well, because it takes the default values as plus 100, plus 100 because of the relative. And essentially it's that same piece of code slightly modified all the way down, adding or taking away 100 each time up until you get to box 7, which is the final box. And I just a little div here for loading, which is the little piece of text I put up in bold that says loading, please wait. I've put its position fixed so it's not moved around by the boxes, and I've put it at 270 pixels so it clears them nice. And the HTML is not much to look at. There's the 7 divs, which just need to be activated by simply calling them, and the loading, which I've put just loading, please wait in bold characters. The application itself just runs as follows. It's a quick 3-second wait and then starts moving. Makes a nice fluid motion, and it'll continue doing this indefinitely or until, like I said, you close the window.